In this video, I will explain my setup for starting my tomato plants inside during the winter. This setup incorporates an automatic waterer, a timed grow light, and a bucket below the pots that will collect the runoff water if it ends up being overwatered at some point. I'll start off first by explaining my automatic watering system. Okay, so over here you just have some basic components for the automatic waterer. It starts off with just a regular sized hose, which goes into a hose timer which you can buy at a hardware store. This will allow you to set the watering time and when it should start and stop. And then this goes to a hose fitting that reduces it down to 1/2 inch pipe, which then goes and reduces it to 3/8 inch pipe. I mean, you can set this up however you want, but this is just what I had available to me. And then I went out and got this splitter. It splits the 3/8 inch pipe up into 4 1/4 inch pipes, and each one of those goes to one of the pots that holds the plant, and we'll go to those now. Okay, so each one of these 4 tubes goes to its own pot, and at the pot I just have it hooked up with a little clothespin, so that way it keeps it suspended above the dirt. And on the end of the tube, this is the most important part, because when I tried this before without these things on it, you'd have water pressure going to one pipe only, and it wouldn't evenly distribute the water. So to solve that problem, I went out and grabbed some pressure compensating drippers. And now I got these at my local garden store. It's called Worm's Way, but I'm not sure if you might have those around you. So you can probably research that online, but they're pretty inexpensive. They're only like $8 for 10 of them. I only needed 4, but whatever. So what these do is they just allow the water to be evenly distributed throughout the 4 pipes, and it just does a slow dripping motion that won't erode away the soil, and it works great for what I need it for. Yeah, so currently I have them set up twice a day for 2 minutes. I mean, it's only been set up for 1 day, so I'm still testing it out. You can try whatever you want, but I think that should be enough for what I need it for. I mean, it seems to moisten the soil pretty well, so if it needs more, I'll give it more, and if not, we'll just leave it the way it is. But the hopes for this is that way I do not have to come down here every day and water the plants, because last year I tried that, and you forget a day, or you run out of water and you're like, I don't want to have to go fill it up again, because this is down in the basement and the faucet's all the way upstairs. So this will hopefully water my plants all year round whenever, so that way I don't have to do it. Okay, these are the pressure compensating drippers I was talking about earlier, and as you can see, it has the 1/4 inch inlet right here and then the dripping end right here. So these are the most important parts, because they do regulate the pressure inside the system, and it will allow for an even distribution of water throughout your plants. And these ones are the 1/2 gallon per hour drippers. So I mean, I think they come in various sizes, but this is the ones they recommended. And I think they also do come in versions where this inlet is a 1/2 inch rather than a 1/4 inch. So I mean, really, it's all up to you, whatever you want to use. So yeah. Okay, back over to the pots now. What I've set up here is just got this little grate here, so that way the pots can rest on top of the grate and allow the water to drip down into this catch tray. It's a big paint tray, for when you're rolling out paint. And all I did was drill a hole right here and put a little brass fitting in here that attaches to a piece of my 1/2 inch tubing. And then that will go down and collect in this bucket down here. So any excess runoff water will go into this bucket, and every once in a while I can just dump it out whenever I want. Okay, now let's see what happens when we turn this on. Okay, over here, all I have to do is set this to on. It might take a little bit. Let's see. There, it turned on. Now it allows the water to flow. And there. You can see I'm dripping right now. It does a nice even drip. Should water the plants really well, and as you can see, all 4 of them are doing it. And right now I have this set for 2 minutes twice a day, and if that's not enough, we'll go from there. Okay, so now onto the lighting system. We're looking at one of these grow lights. This one is the Pioneer 4 Junior. I got this one also at Worms Way. I'm not sure where you could find them else. You can probably look online. They run kind of expensive. This one was $114, but it's what the people at Worms Way recommended for what I needed. It's kind of a smaller one. It has 4 bulbs on the underside, and so far it's worked pretty well. I mean, last year it grew my plants decently until I forgot to water them, then they died, but I guess for this application it should be alright. And so I have it set up so that way right here I just have a couple of wires hanging from the ceiling. I just screwed them right into the joists because we're in the basement and there's the ceiling isn't finished, so it just goes right into the joist. And as the plants grow up, I will just slowly raise the light up so that way the plants do not touch the bulbs, because obviously that would be bad. So you can just raise it up as much as you want. And I have this thing set on a timer. It's just a standard wall timer, and I'll show that to you right now. Okay, so this is the timer for the light. I have it set up on a 13-hour cycle right now. It will turn on at 6 in the morning and shut off at 7 at night. I mean, I've heard people say that you can go for 16 hours or whatever you want, but I mean, really it's up to you, so you can decide whatever you want to do. And this should make it so that way the light will turn on automatically and shut off automatically without me having to do anything. So, pretty great thing. I mean, it just plugs in the side there and we'll be all set. Okay, now for a recap of the materials that I used to build this system. First, we'll start off with the things you can get at your hardware store. You have the garden hose timer. You have the brass fitting that connects to it, which goes from the garden hose size down to 1/2-inch vinyl tubing. And then for the vinyl tubing, you can get the 1/2-inch size, the 3/8 inch size, and the 1/4 inch size. Those should all be there. And another brass fitting, 1/2 inch down to 3/8 inch, and the paint tray. And you can get your pots pretty much anywhere you want. Okay, so now for the specialty garden store stuff that you need. This is the splitter. It goes from the 3/8 inch down to the 1/4 inch, and it splits it into 4 pipes. And then those go to the automatic drippers, these thingies. And then you have your grow light, which we talked about before. And so yeah, hopefully this should be an easy project for you. I mean, it's a little bit of an investment, but I mean it makes it way easier, because you don't have to worry about coming down here every day to water your plants, to turn your lights on and off. And it just, say you forgot about it for a week, and you can come back here and it should be all set. Hopefully this will make this a nice automatic process, so that way you can just set it up and leave it there and you'll get good plants. So this is January now, and hopefully I can follow this up in a little bit. Hopefully I can get some nice big tomato plants growing. And a couple last things. I might add some ventilation in later by like putting a fan in here, because ventilation helps with the growing of the plants. And also make sure your plants are in a nice warm location. This should be fine because this is located right next to the furnace. So, I mean, the furnace isn't throwing off too much heat that'll wilt my plants, but I mean, it's around a steady 70 degrees around in here. So just make sure your plants don't freeze. And yeah, so hopefully I can follow this video up shortly with some updates. Alright, thank you for watching.